In the glitzy realm of hip-hop, a tragic tale unfolds, one of power, betrayal, and death that has haunted the industry for years. Sean Diddy Combs, the self-proclaimed king of New York, is the focus of attention as new evidence and shocking allegations emerge, raising questions about Kim Porter's fate. In the early 1990s, hip-hop was emerging as a dominant force, and Uptown Records was at the heart of it all. This is where our story begins, in the vibrant offices of a label that transformed the music landscape forever. As secrets long buried come to light, one question stands out above the rest: what truly happened to Kim Porter? The whispers of betrayal and the shadows of the past continue to loom over Diddy and the hip-hop community, making it clear that this story is far from over.
Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, I'll Be Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant.
Kim Porter was more than just a pretty face. She was intelligent, ambitious, and had a keen eye for talent. As the personal assistant to Andre Harrell, she played a pivotal role in Uptown Records' operations, witnessing the emergence of careers that would shape a generation. Among all the rising stars, one in particular captured her attention: Sean "Puffy" Combs. Their connection would not only change the course of their lives, but also leave a lasting impact on the music industry.
Tanisha. Not so more Misa, but it was Tanisha, Sarah Chapman, and Kim. They were all good friends. Puff and Misha was together first, over there at Uptown and everything like that. I'll Be Sure was Kim's husband. Whatever happened to Kim and I'll Be Sure, Puff came in when he got that big contract, started getting the money. He started dating Kim.
At first, it appeared to be a match made in hip-hop heaven: Kim, the beautiful and savvy insider, and Puffy, the ambitious producer with dreams of building an empire. They were young, in love, and the world lay before them. However, as Puffy's star ascended, so did the stakes. The music industry is a treacherous landscape, where ambition can corrupt even the purest of hearts.
Puff, outside the physical abuse, treated Kim like a king's queen. She ain't have to work. She did little acting jobs, little commercials. Got everything she wanted. Lived on 70-something Park Avenue. Not Park Avenue, 70-something on the west side by Columbus Avenue. Nice apartment. Had a maid, had a babysitter. Treated her like a queen on the outside. On the inside, she was subjected to doing all the nasty, all the freaky things with other people that he wanted her to do.
However, the fairy tale started to unravel behind closed doors. Away from the flashing cameras and adoring fans, Kim Porter was trapped in a nightmare. The man she loved, the father of her children, was revealing a side that the public had never witnessed. Yet Kim was no shrinking violet. She was a fighter and a survivor, determined not to let anyone, especially the mighty Diddy, break her spirit.
I seen him inside the car, grab her up. I seen him smack her, you know. And one thing about Kim is, Kim got to the point where she fought back because she realized how powerful she was. It was one incident on Sunset Boulevard in front of the Beverly Hills Hotel where I just seen the car rocking back and forth. You know, of course he put everybody out the car, but I seen the car shaking, so I opened the door. I said, "What are you doing? You know, what are you doing? You see where we at and what are you doing?" And Kim got out the car like nothing happened, and she fixed her hair, and she told him, she said, "I want to see you explain to the media that scratch I'm gonna put across your face if you put your hands on me again." And that was Kim's attitude. Kim's attitude was, she realized that what he had to explain meant more to him than anything. And once she realized she had that power, she said, "Nah, not no more. Because you're gonna have to explain why you all marked up."
As the years passed, Kim began to recognize the true extent of her influence. She was no longer just Diddy's mama or a former model. She had witnessed the rise of an empire and was privy to secrets that could bring it all crashing down. This realization led her to consider writing a book. However, on November 15, 2018, a date that would forever alter the music industry's landscape, Kim Porter was found dead in her Toluca Lake home. The official cause of death was pneumonia, a tragic but natural occurrence, or so we were led to believe. Yet from the moment the news broke, those who knew Kim best began to question this official narrative.
Allegedly, Kim was fine the day before and the day of her death. And then now she found in the bed, dead from pneumonia. That just don't sound right, bro.
It didn't add up. A vibrant, healthy woman in her 40s, worth millions, dying so suddenly from pneumonia seemed implausible, especially in an era where medical advancements have made such fatalities increasingly rare. With her wealth, Kim had access to top doctors, private care, and the finest hospitals money could buy. Yet, despite all these resources, she was gone.
Kim had, I think, a net worth of like, what, 12 million a year or something like that? Kim could have called any doctor to come over and look at her. If she was that bad, you know, she could have called an ambulance or something like that. Everything is suspicious about her death, bro.
Despite her wealth and access to the best medical care, Kim didn't survive. The timeline of her final days, the missing details, and the eerie silence that followed only deepened the suspicion. Nothing added up. The circumstances surrounding her death were filled with unanswered questions, each more disturbing than the last.
Why come right till today, right now, nobody knows what Kim Porter phone is? And they know they had iPhones. Why have nobody went to the cloud and got the text messages and the things off her phone?
In an era of cloud storage and constant connectivity, the disappearance of Kim's phone raises significant suspicion. Whatever messages it held and the evidence it contained are now lost, erased from the narrative just like she was. A device that could have unveiled so much simply vanished, leaving behind only silence and unanswered questions. But the missing phone was only the start. As investigators delved deeper, more troubling details began to surface.
Why would you take somebody's tablet or her computer? It was some foul play. Why is there blood on a sheet?
Even more unsettling are the details that were conveniently overlooked: bloodstains on the sheets, missing electronic devices, and a timeline riddled with inconsistencies. As each piece falls into place, it becomes undeniable that Kim Porter's death was anything but a simple case of pneumonia. The most chilling evidence comes from Kim herself. She wasn't the first to die under strange circumstances, and the pattern is impossible to ignore. Heavy D is gone and Andre Harrell is gone, both found dead from apparent heart attacks. Now, at only 47, Kim has also been claimed by pneumonia. The only ones left standing are Sean Diddy Combs and Al B. Sure, though even Al barely escaped death after slipping into a coma. A chilling pattern emerges: 3 key figures from the early days of Uptown Records, all working on tell-all books, all dead before they could publish. Is this merely a coincidence, or is there something far more sinister at play?
The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him?
The story doesn't end there.
The story doesn't end there. According to singer and songwriter Jaguar Wright, the initial coroner's report on Kim Porter's death raised even more suspicion. While the public was told it was pneumonia, that same report classified her death as a homicide. Traces of toxins were discovered in her body, poisons that mimicked the symptoms of heart attacks and pneumonia. It was a calculated death, hidden in plain sight.
It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas. And then the next thing you know,
According to multiple sources, Kim's book promised to unveil decades of hidden secrets, scandals, and crimes. However, someone was determined to prevent that book from seeing the light of day. In what might have been her final words, Kim wrote just days before her death, "My home was burglarized, only laptops were stolen. I know it was that bastard or his goons. Despite the theft, she had a backup in the cloud that she could easily download onto her new computer." She planned to send out copies via email and noted that her Google Drive password would be attached so the missing chapters could be accessed. This book must get out. Kim understood the danger she was in and the potential cost of her revelations, but she was resolute in her mission to expose the truth. Tragically, Kim never finished her explosive tell-all. Instead, she found herself fighting for her life in her final hours. "I called Sean from my bedroom, where I'm lying in bed. All I could think about were the kids, my babies, who are with this monster, the man I now suspect of doing this to me." In a desperate bid to unveil the truth, Kim sent out a group text, "He got me," before calling 911. But it was too late. The official story claims she died of pneumonia, but those who knew her, those who have seen the evidence, tell a different tale: poisoning. If Kim Porter was indeed poisoned, her death would transform from a tragedy into murder. The plot thickens further when we consider the timing. Just months before her passing, Cassie, Diddy's longtime girlfriend, had left him. Sources suggest that Kim had shared information with Cassie that she could use against Diddy. Was this the final straw?
because see, I know something that a lot of people don't know. I know that you and Kim Porter had a sit down right before she left us. And I know Kim had some very good advice to give you. And I believe that this is why things are happening as they're happening now. Kim was smart, wasn't she, Cassie? Kept you alive and kept you safe. Congratulations on surviving and congratulations on standing up.
As we delve into the final days of Kim Porter, a disturbing picture emerges from the glittering yet treacherous world of hip-hop royalty. Kim was not just another figure in the music scene, she was deeply entwined with the rise of several influential artists, most notably Sean Diddy, Combs, with whom she had a long and tumultuous relationship. Reflecting on her past with Diddy, Kim once stated he would say he needed to see his son. But I was at a place where just the sight of him would turn my stomach. Her words resonate chillingly in light of her tragic death, suggesting that she understood the dangers of her situation and the man she was up against, yet she refused to be silenced. Kim Porter's death sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, and it was the eerie silence that followed that raised the most significant concerns. Where were the in-depth investigations? Where were the probing questions from the media? It appeared that even in death, Diddy's considerable influence could manipulate the narrative surrounding Kim's untimely passing. However, the truth has a way of resurfacing no matter how deeply it's buried. As more evidence and testimonies emerge, it becomes increasingly clear that Kim Porter's death was no mere accident. Rumors of a tell-all book written by Kim cast a long shadow over the mystery of her death. Some claim this manuscript contains explosive secrets capable of shaking the foundations of one of the music industry's most powerful figures. Yet, in response to these claims, Kim's children, including her son Quincy, publicly refuted the notion that their mother wrote such a book. In a heartfelt joint statement, they expressed their pain over the rumors surrounding her death and her relationship with Diddy, stating, "Claims that our mom wrote a book are simply untrue. She did not, and anyone claiming to have a manuscript is misrepresenting themselves." Despite their heartfelt denial, others insist the book is real, asserting that Kim was diligently working on it in her final days. Supporters of this narrative believe it contains Kim's voice and the truth she could no longer keep hidden. Whether the manuscript ever existed is uncertain, but the controversy surrounding it only deepens the enigma of her passing. If Kim intended to share her story, it reveals a woman who endured years of emotional and physical hardship, trapped in a life dominated by manipulation and abuse. Regardless of the manuscript's authenticity, the pain described resonates profoundly: the loneliness, fear, and betrayal she experienced. Only Kim Porter knew the full truth of her life, but her legacy of strength, resilience, and the scars she bore continues to speak volumes. If the book is real, it would be more than just a manuscript. It would encapsulate the story of a woman who fought through unimaginable pain and suffering. Years after her untimely death, Kim's voice refuses to fade into silence. The secrets she once safeguarded are beginning to surface, lingering like whispers in the shadows, ready to erupt into the light. In life, she remained hidden, controlled by a man who would stop at nothing to protect his image and wealth. Now, former associates of Diddy are breaking their silence, revealing shocking accounts of manipulation, coercion, and abuse, a man desperate to stay on top at any cost. Reports suggest that the FBI is quietly investigating Kim's death, gathering evidence while the media remains reluctant to engage with the story. In a world where money often drowns out the truth, the scales of justice seem tilted toward the powerful, but cracks in Diddy's armor are beginning to show. The walls he built to conceal his darkest secrets may finally be crumbling. Initially, Kim Porter's death was ruled as pneumonia, a straightforward explanation for a complex tragedy. However, toxicology reports, inconsistencies in the timeline, and testimonies from those close to her paint a different picture, one that suggests something far more sinister. Kim may be gone, but her story is far from over. This narrative transcends her life. It's about the power dynamics that have allowed one man to evade accountability for years. Adding to the chilling complexity surrounding Kim's death is the unsettling pattern of untimely demises among figures from the early days of Uptown Records. Heavy D and Andre Harrell both passed away under strange circumstances, and now Kim, at just 47 years old, had succumbed to what was officially labeled pneumonia. A sinister pattern began to emerge. 3 key figures linked to the early success of a powerful music label had died just as they were preparing to tell their stories. Coincidence or something much darker? Further investigations revealed even more disturbing details, including bloodstains on sheets and missing electronic devices. The timeline surrounding Kim's death is riddled with inconsistencies, suggesting that something was terribly wrong. The disappearance of her phone, a device that could have held crucial evidence, vanished, leaving behind only silence and unanswered questions. Investigators unearthed troubling details, implying that Kim's death was intricately connected to the darker aspects of the music industry, elements of power, control, and the lengths to which individuals would go to maintain their secrets. Jaguar Wright, a singer and songwriter, claimed that the first coroner's report raised even more suspicion. While the public was told that Kim died of pneumonia, the report classified her death as a homicide, indicating traces of toxins in her body, poisons that mimic heart attack and pneumonia symptoms. If true, this paints a portrait of a calculated death, hidden in plain sight. It's evident that someone did not want Kim's story to be told. In what may have been her final words, Kim expressed her fears in a text just days before her death, stating, "My home was burglarized, only laptops were stolen. I know it was that bastard or his goons." She recognized the danger surrounding her and was determined to share her truth, even if it cost her everything. Tragically, she never got the chance to finish her explosive tell-all. In her final moments, she made a desperate attempt to expose the truth by sending a group text that read, "He got me before calling 911. But it was too late. The official story stated that Kim died of pneumonia, but those who loved her tell a different tale, one of poison and betrayal. If Kim Porter was indeed poisoned, her death transcends mere tragedy. It transforms into something far more sinister. The timing of her death is equally unsettling. Just months before, Diddy's longtime girlfriend, Cassie, had left him, reportedly after receiving critical information from Kim that she could leverage against Diddy. As the investigation into Kim's death continues, the implications of her life and untimely demise resonate deeply. In a world where power can shield the guilty from accountability, Kim's story serves as a powerful reminder of the cost of silence and the dangers that lurk behind the facade of fame and fortune. The truth is out there, waiting to be uncovered, and Kim's legacy will not be easily forgotten.